All right, today is a milestone day for the Tesla because one of the things that's been keeping me from going on a overlanding trip is my tires and my wheels. I have the performance model because I want to be able to go fast, and it has 21-inch Uberturbines with like this much sidewall, which is not going to work. So I've been looking at all these different wheels, and here's the thing. There's a lot of great companies like Sportsline, Martian Wheels, Atomic, Signature, Titan 7, that they all make great wheels, and they even make some overlanding packages, but when I look at them, they look like street wheels. You know what I mean? Real thin. They look sick for like a car show or just cruising around town. And they could be just as functional, especially some of the ones that are forged. They could be just as functional as some off-road or overlanding specific, more geared wheels, but it just wasn't the look I was going for. And there is an aesthetic side of this thing too, more than just function. And although function is the most important, aesthetics are important too. You want your car to be a reflection of kind of what you want to feel when you get into it, right? And so I've always loved method wheels, kind of the TRD. One of my favorite wheels of all time is a TRD Pros that are on a lot of the, you know, Toyotas and Tundras and Tacomas and 4Runners and that kind of thing. And so that kind of vibe, and Method really does a great job at capturing their vibe. They have light wheels that are strong, obviously rated for off-road overland use, because the majority of the people that use them have a big old hop trucks. And so I started noticing that there were a few Teslas Model Ys around the nation that used two specific Method wheels, the Method 502 and the Method 707. The 502s are super dope looking. They're cool, they're functional. They're about 27 pounds in the 18-inch variant. But then I saw the Method 707s, the MR 707s. It's an 18-inch wheel, 8.5-inch wide. I think back spacing is like 6.2 inch, plus 35 offset. These wheels only weigh like 22 and change, 22.6, 23 pounds. And then when you add the Falcon Wild Peak AT Trails, you're still looking at 10 pounds less than the Uberturbine total weight. So 40 pounds less over the whole vehicle, but 10 pounds on each corner, which is a big deal for efficiency. So this could be kind of like that golden spot here where you have dope looking wheels that feel like an overlander kind of wheel. They're strong, they are lighter, and could be at least as efficient, because obviously the Falcon Wild Peaks are not going to be as efficient for rolling resistance, even though the whole package may be lighter. It'll have a greater rolling resistance than the Hankook Ion kind of EV specific wheels. So I'm seeing a lot of posts where people are saying that without a lift and without a roof rack and all that kind of stuff, that just switching from the 21-inch Uberturbines to the Method 502 or 707s, that it's kind of a wash, actually. Some people actually notice a gain. Now, there's some people that are saying, oh, I lost all this range. A lot of times they're going from the 18-inch Geminis or the 19-inch and then moving into this. Well, obviously you're going to lose range, but we're already at the worst end of the scale as performance owners. So, you know, you go from bad to like still bad for efficiency wise, but looking way cooler. And so called around, was going to wait till Black Friday, and I found a shop locally here about half an hour away that is just giving a slamming deal, and they have great reviews online. So I'm going to head there right now to put on Method 707s in matte black, and then wrap it with Falcon Wild Peak 255, 55, 18s. Now there's a bunch of Falcon Wild Peaks. This is what I was confused about. There's the AT Trail, which is almost like their crossover tire, which here's the thing, I'm gonna be 99% of the time on pavement, okay? And then they have like the AT3, which is now the AT4Ws, which actually I had Falcon Wild Peak AT3Ws on my old Lexus GX, but the new AT4 is a little more rugged. I don't need that level in what I'm going to do with this Tesla because I don't have the ground clearance for that. So I'm going to stick with the AT Trail. They have two variants. You got to watch out for this. There's two variants of the AT Trail. There's the SL version, which is like standard duty, light duty, which is I think they're 98V tires, and then they're slightly heavier There's the 109V, which is known as the XL heavy duty load, which is more what I want. A little more puncture resistant, a little more sidewall protection. They're a little heavier, so I'm gonna get hit on the range side of things, but the benefit is I just don't want to get towed. You know what I mean? So if I lose a little bit of efficiency, but it's a little more protection for those sharp rocks that may hit you. You know, a lot of times when we're overlanding, you are off the grid. I mean, you're like an hour and a half from cell phone reception. It's a pain in the butt. So if I can pay a little bit in efficiency, but I have a little more protection, so I'm not stranded in the middle of Anza Borrego or something. Especially having a Tesla, I don't want to have like the toe of shame as these guys in their hopped up 2500s are like, oh, your Tesla shouldn't be out here anyways, bro. I get it. I don't want to bring shame onto myself, and so get the XL rated. You'll also see a 109V as that variant. Again, they're a little heavier, but worth it in my opinion. We'll see. So about to get them installed. I'll give you an update of what they look like afterwards, but I'm pretty stoked. Here we go. As you can see, I have my stock tires behind me. What have I noticed? So I just took a 20-minute drive, and they ride pretty much like my other one. I can't even really tell that I'm riding different wheels. I guess I can feel the knobbiness of them a little bit, but they are AT wheels. They're not off-road wheels, so they are great on pavement. Some people said that by going to a 255/55/18 from the Uberturbines, the road is so much softer and no more cushion and less rough, but a lot of them are coming from the pre-comfort suspension, so it is a big difference. But for me, I have the comfort suspension. It's a 2024, so I don't really notice that big of a difference, to be honest, which is a good thing. I have my tire pressure at 42 right now. Maybe I'll drop it down to 40 to see if that makes a difference. So here's what's crazy. The efficiency actually really surprised me. I thought they were gonna be about the same, maybe a little better, and that's exactly what they are. I was nervous because those of you guys that know, the first little bit you drive a Tesla, when you first drive it, the battery's warming up, everything's warming up, so your efficiency is like terrible, right? And so it was like 450 watt hours per mile. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so bad. I've made a terrible mistake. But then as it started to even out, I drove about 20 minutes, and my lifetime watt hours per mile, so 2,000 miles or so, I've had the vehicle for a couple months, it's 304 watt hours per mile. 304 watt hours per mile on the stock Uberturbines. This last 20-minute drive, 294 watt hours per mile. 294. It's more efficient to have these bigger, meatier, knobby, high rolling resistance tires, which is a shocker to me. Because I know they're better looking. They're way better looking than stock Uberturbines, in my opinion. They ride better for a lot of people. Obviously, way more practical for my needs. They're gonna be way better for the dirt and off-road. And they're more efficient? Here's the crazy thing. The new tires, the 255/55/18s, are actually 1.9 or 1.4% larger than the stock wheels, which means that my estimates are actually low. When it says 284 watt hours per mile, when you factor in this tire size difference, it's actually 289 watt hours per mile. So here's my question for Tesla. You can spec your Model Y to have 18, 19-inch wheels, 20-inch wheels. You can get the 21-inch Uberturbines, obviously, if you get the performance package. But why not just create an overland package? Put a mild body lift, a 1.5, a 1.8-inch body lift on it, or do it properly and actually do a suspension lift. Do your roof rack, do your tow package, put some, create some off-road style wheels with some Falcon Wild Peaks or some Toyos or Nittos or something that has more of an off-road vibe to it, and sell it as a package. I think there are a lot of people that don't want to have to do all this research like we're having to do, and just be able to order it like that and go camping. You already have Camp Mo, you're already there. You already have a roof rack. Just finish the deal. So in closing, if you're thinking about doing this, do it. It's more efficient, or at least as efficient as your 21-inch. You're gonna lose some efficiency if you're coming from the 18s or 19-inch Geminis, but it's pretty comparable to having Uberturbines, maybe a little better. There's really no downside, right? And so no regrets. I'll update as we go, but it's a 65,000 mile rated tire. So I think I'm golden for a while. And now going from a staggered setup to a square setup, I can do normal tire rotations, which is an added plus too to make them last longer. So I'm gonna go on a camping trip here in the next month or so I'll update about how they perform on the dirt. But man, so far guys, super stoked. Could not be happier with my decision. All right, we'll see you out there. Ask any questions you have in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. Take it easy.